In the desert where silence is a sacred companion and the shifting sands speak more eloquently than the voices of men, the heart of Fazza beats like a drum of eternity, calling forth verses that flow as endlessly as the caravans of time. He walks with the whisper of the wind, his soul tethered not by chains but by the unbroken thread of love, and in every grain of sand he reads the memory of those who came before him, warriors, lovers, dreamers, poets. The desert is his canvas and the sky his scripture, and so he writes in words unseen, only felt, only heard by those whose hearts are tuned to the melody of longing. He gazes upon the golden horizon where the sun kisses the dunes with fire, where every twilight is a promise, and every dawn a renewal. In the stillness he feels the presence of what cannot be named, the delicate weight of dreams pressing against his chest like a falcon ready to take flight. His poetry is not just words but breath, not just ink but blood, not just thought but destiny, and as the verses flow, they weave the story of his journey, a journey without beginning or end, because love is a circle without edges, an ocean without shore. The camels move like ancient ships of the earth, their footsteps steady as prayers. Fazza sees in their patience a reflection of his own endurance, the quiet dignity of carrying burdens yet never bowing. He calls them his companions, his teachers, for they know the rhythm of the desert, the secrets of thirst, the wisdom of waiting. As he rides among them, the air carries his voice like an echo, verses rising from the core of his heart, verses that speak of loyalty and grace, of the bond between man and the land that cradles him. Every star above him is a word unspoken, every constellation a verse unwritten. The night sky is his library, and the moon a lamp that guides him through chapters of solitude and union. He sees her face reflected in the silver glow, the beloved who lives within his heart, hidden yet ever present, distant yet nearer than his breath. To her he dedicates his whispers, to her he lifts his hands in prayer, to her he sends every line, knowing that love is not diminished by distance, but rather expanded, stretched across time and space like the endless heavens. The desert wind becomes his scribe, carrying the fragrance of his longing into every corner of the world. It rustles through the palms, bends the grasses, swirls the dust into patterns that seem like letters, as if the earth itself is inscribing his poetry upon the air. And he smiles, for he knows that what is born of the soul cannot be confined. It will travel beyond walls, beyond borders, beyond the limits of sight, until it finds the heart it was meant for. In the oasis of memory he drinks from the water of remembrance, cool and clear, flowing with images of childhood, of falcons in the sky, of horses galloping with untamed freedom, of laughter shared beneath the shade of ancient trees. In the silence where our story lingers, I will weave for you a river of words that carries the essence of Fazza's spirit, where the desert wind is the harp and the camel stride is the drum, where love and loyalty grow like palm trees beneath the eternal sun. The journey is endless, and so too must the poetry flow, without break, without barrier, as one unbroken song of devotion and longing that stretches across 3,000 words like the horizon that never ends. The desert speaks and the poet listens, the sand grains whispering tales of ancestors who walked before him with honor, courage, and the flame of passion burning in their eyes. He rides not just to conquer distance, but to conquer time itself, leaving behind a trail of verses written in golden dust. His heart is the compass, pointing always to love, to truth, to God, to the soul of the land he carries in his chest. He sees the sun rise not as a mere light, but as a crown upon the earth, gilding the dunes with the same fire that burns in his soul. He watches the falcon in the sky, free yet bound to his hand, noble yet loyal, wild yet tamed by affection. Every flight of the bird is a metaphor for his own journey, soaring high yet always returning to the perch of belonging. In the night he listens to the silence, and silence itself becomes a verse. The stars above are like diamonds scattered by a generous hand, each one a memory, each one a promise, each one a guide. The moon drapes her silver veil over the sand, and the poet sees in her glow the face of the beloved, her eyes shining like twin orbs that rule the tides of his heart. He speaks her name not aloud but in whispers, as though the desert itself already knows her, as though the wind has carried her fragrance across horizons unseen. His words are not merely poetry. They are confessions. They are prayers. They are offerings at the altar of destiny. When he rides, the camel's steady gait is more than a rhythm. It is a heartbeat echoing through the desert floor. Each step presses upon ancient paths, carved by caravans of history, reminding him that he too is a traveler in this grand tale of time. The camel's endurance is his own endurance, its patience is his own patience, its strength is his own strength. In its eyes he sees wisdom, in its silence he hears eternity. Together they move across oceans of sand, carrying love as though it were water in a vessel too sacred to spill. His verses rise and fall like the desert dunes, each crest a declaration of passion, each valley a sigh of longing. He writes of love not as a fleeting desire but as a timeless bond, one that lives in the marrow of the earth and the pulse of the sky. He writes of loyalty to family, to homeland, to God, to the call of destiny that beats within his chest. He writes of courage in the face of storms, where the sand blinds the eyes but cannot blind the heart. He writes of freedom, where the horizon is endless and the soul refuses chains.